Good evening to you, and it's nice to see you on this Wednesday evening right at around 7 o'clock. We're keeping an eye on snow for the next couple of hours into tomorrow morning, where we could see another initial brief burst of snow into early tomorrow morning between the hours of around 7 a.m. through around 11 a.m. Current snow cover across our area, you could see the majority of it is more so toward the east, but we've seen some amounts in our area between up to around an inch or so for most, and other places 1 to 3 inches. And as we go more and more east right toward the coastline, up to around 3 to 6 inches in some places, all from the storm that's continuing to move across our area. Most places for right now are dry. However, still could see some isolated snow showers into these next couple of hours. A look at the winter radar, mostly rain well to our south and portions of South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. A little bit of a mixed layer right here. You can see in terms of those colors of pinks and also the purples in southeastern North Carolina. Along the coastline, lots of heavy snowfall continuing to come across the region. Us here in the Triad, we've been kind of out of this moisture for the last several hours, but a couple of isolated showers have built in behind the system, bringing in a couple more snow showers for the area. 1 or 2 we could see those into the night tonight, but for the most part starting to dry out, with another possibility of more snow showers early into tomorrow morning. Winter storm warning is going to continue for the portions of central North Carolina and eastern North Carolina along the coastline until tomorrow at around 6 o'clock. Us here in the Piedmont, winter weather advisory until around 1 o'clock tomorrow, and that basically runs through our weather impact alert. Temperatures right now mid to upper 20s. It is a cold one out there. Not only should I urge you really to make sure that you're staying off roads if you can and looking for slick spots, but just make sure you're also wearing layers, because it is very cold out and it feels like we are in the teens right now. Temperatures are 25 right now in Greensboro and in Asheboro, 26 in High Point, 27 in Winston-Salem, 25 also in Walnut Cove. Dew points right now are in the teens and in the lower 20s. Earlier on today, because we weren't able to get that snow all the way to the ground, it was due to the fact that temperatures, or these dew points, were actually in the single digits, indicating that there was just a layer of dry air right above us, and the snow just wasn't able to make it all the way down to the ground. It actually evaporated before hitting the ground, and the snow actually had to work to overcome that dry air throughout the morning. Finally started to see more and more of those big flakes by early on into this afternoon. Across the area, again, we could see another brief burst of snow between around 7 to 10 o'clock into tomorrow morning. Make sure you're watching for slick spots, not only into the night tonight as roads are expected to refreeze, but again into tomorrow morning behind that brief burst of snow that is going to be possible in that window. Sunshine is going to return into tomorrow afternoon. It's going to start melting as well, with gusty winds also up to around 30 miles per hour. So again, our weather impact alert expands from now all the way until midday for tomorrow due to the impacts of snow across the area. It's going to be mainly a snow event continuing possibly into tomorrow, and we're keeping eyes on that. Of course, slick roads are also a possibility, especially heading into tonight and also into the day tomorrow, with highs only expected to be in the low to middle 30s for tomorrow afternoon. What you need to do is just make sure you're being alert and taking it slow on the roadways. One thing that you should know is that overpasses and bridges are going to ice first. They have air all surrounding them, and they're just a lot easier to get ice on because they're not well insulated. So that's something you need to keep in mind while you're out and about. Snow reports that we've seen so far, this is as of 7 o'clock here on February 16th, this Wednesday. Snow Camp right at around 2.5 inches, Mebane 2.5 inches, Graham 1.8. You can see some big winners here in Alamance County. Randleman at 1.5. Greensboro just under 1.5 inches, High Point an inch, and Winston-Salem, the farther that we go west, the less that we see across the area, although mountains saw a little bit as well. We did get some snow here at the WFMY News 2 building. This was taken in our weather garden by our chief meteorologist, Tim Buckley, just underneath 1 inch or so of snow, with more possible in some of these lighter showers right now across the area, and also with that brief burst of snow into tomorrow morning between 7 to 10 a.m. Right now across the area, again, not seeing much on the webcam, just a lot of low-level clouds. We're in the mid-20s, feeling like we are at around 14 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast around 10 to 15 miles per hour throughout the day today. We've been sitting in the 20s all day. Slick roads are going to continue to be possible into the night tonight, as well as throughout the day tomorrow. Still going to be cold, but not quite as cold as what we had today. Low to middle 30s versus the 20s. Hey, I'll take that any day. And we are going to start to warm up heading into these next couple of days. Timeline again tonight. Snow ending, roads could begin to ice up tonight, so make sure you're being extra careful while on the roadways. Overnight tonight, it's going to be mainly dry, but slick and icy roads continue to be likely, especially in some spots that haven't been salted or brined across the region. Into tomorrow morning, possible snow bursts is in that 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. window. That's when we could see slick roads once again. By tomorrow afternoon, sunshine is coming right back out, but it's going to be a little bit windy, and we're going to be seeing melting conditions for those roads. Gusts could get up to around 30 miles per hour. So what's the impact? Again, it's the snow that is going to likely be impacting our area for the next day or so. Slick roads being possible, and roads slowly starting to improve into tomorrow afternoon. Snow forecast that we've seen across the area, again, 1 to 2 inches for the majority of us, as we've already seen has fallen across the area. Toward our south and of course to our west, seeing much less amounts between a trace up to around an inch or so. More amounts of course toward our north as well as to our east, as we've already seen some places up there get between 3 to 4 inches of snow thus far, with more currently falling across central portions of North Carolina. Freezing rain risk, again, not a big concern for us in the Triad. There is a little bit of concern for areas in southernmost counties that we've been watching for this freezing rain. Again, southernmost portions of Davidson, Randolph, and of course Montgomery, where they could see up to a glaze up to around 1/10 of an inch or so of freezing rain, but not really anything much to impact power across our region. That freezing rain risk is mainly toward our east and right there towards central North Carolina. Snow potential from now all the way until tomorrow afternoon. Could receive up to around 1/2 an inch or so just from these isolated showers right now. Probably not bringing much, but maybe that potential burst of snow in the early morning hours, and that upper level disturbance could bring us a little bit across the region, so we'll keep tabs on that. A current look right now at Blowing Rock. We're in the low to mid 20s, and just look at the roads here. Whew, do not want to be driving on that. Could certainly hit some slick spots, but certainly a lot of snow here in portions of our mountains. You can see Beech Mountain right now. I've actually been keeping tabs on this throughout the day today, and a lot of people have been hitting the slopes, and I don't blame them. It's cold, but you know what? With the snow coming down, makes for nice conditions without the man-made snow to really go down there and shred, whether you're a snowboarder or you are a skier. We're kind of looking down here. You can see people start going down, and the visibility is low, but I'm sure they are having a fun time. Temperatures and feels like temperatures across the board, mid to upper 20s, but we're feeling like we're in the teens. 14 we're feeling like in Greensboro, 19 in Reedsville, 15 in Burlington. We're going to sit there in the lower 20s likely overnight tonight, and it's just going to be a cold one. Make sure you're bundled up, even if you're not just planning on going out anywhere, but just make sure you're staying warm because it is certainly cold out there. Into early tomorrow morning, that's when we're starting to watch that isolated brief period of snow showers between around 7 to 10 a.m. behind that upper level disturbance as it moves offshore. Much drier air is on the way, and windy conditions up to around 30 miles per hour. High pressure is going to be building into the area. We're still going to be pretty chilly. Low to middle 30s throughout the day on Thursday, but by Friday, hey, we might actually make it into the lower 40s. Wow. Yeah, super nice here, but we are going to be starting to warm up over the weekend too. And we actually are going to hit the 60s into next week. So quite the roller coaster we have going on here. I will talk about that more in just a moment. Overnight tonight, we're going to be sitting in the 20s. Tomorrow morning, starting to see those isolated brief snow showers become possible right at around 7 o'clock for most of our models, indicating that, lasting through around 10 or maybe even 11 o'clock before we start to dry out as that system continues to kind of push through our area. Still going to be a chilly one into tomorrow afternoon. By 7 o'clock, falling right back down into the 20s. Now, next 12 hours, we're going to be seeing temperatures kind of sit here in that 20s range, low to middle 20s across the area, with that opportunity for snow, making more so in the morning. By the afternoon, we're starting to dry out, and we are going to begin to warm up across the area. Mid to upper 40s by the time we're to Friday and also into Saturday. Again, a little bit windy for tomorrow afternoon, but starting to warm up by the time we're into Friday and into Saturday. Remember just to take it slow into tomorrow morning, because our weather impact alert is going to last all the way through around midday. And that is, just for those slick roads in that period of brief snow showers throughout 7 a.m. through around 11 a.m. Behind it, still going to be chilly and windy, starting to warm up these next couple of days. Friday, still cold in the lower 40s. Saturday and Sunday, mid to upper 40s and lower 50s. So a little bit milder by the time we get into Sunday afternoon. Heading into next week, what if I told you 60s are back? Upper 50s, low to mid 60s, lots of sunshine. And hey, we're not drawing a snow map here in the next 7 days. Thanks so much for tuning in.